Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on Talking Female Health with Amy and Lisa, with my lovely co-host, Amy Connor, and myself,
Hello.
Lisa Yara. Today, we wanted to address something that we've talked about in a previous episode and where we received a lovely comment of a person who was really interested in learning more about meditation and what we understand as meditation, because I do believe there's a lot of misconception out there around what it actually means, what it brings, why it could be good for you, and how you can make it fit your lifestyle, not the other way around. So yeah, welcome to this. If you want to check out this other episode, it was The Liver, Your Super Mom, a really fun, but also very in-depth and informative episode where we had a little liver meditation to just get in touch with this most important organ in your body. But today, let's dive into meditation. So, Amy, when you hear the word meditation from where you are at right now, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as focusing. I think that's what comes to mind for me. Just being fully focused and present as much as I'm able to be in that moment. And I think that's the big piece for me, like the permission to be as present as I'm able to be. Because when I first heard about meditation, I felt like it was something that was completely unobtainable to me because my nervous system wasn't in a space where I could relax enough to, do what I would call the stereotypical version of meditation, where you're just still and very focused and just emptying the mind and all of those things. Like that wasn't possible for me. And I excluded myself from a lot of things because I felt like I was someone who couldn't meditate. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't good enough to get to that space. Whereas now, as we're going to talk in this episode, I have a much broader awareness of how I can meditate and the ways I can make it work for me and my lifestyle, like you said. It's more about giving myself permission to meditate where I'm at that particular point in my life, in my day, whatever the situation is. But for me, it's about focus and trying to get out of the outside world and into myself and my body.
Mhm.
Yeah. What comes up
It
for you?
sounds super nourishing.
It is.
Yeah, for me, I must say I had the luck to very early on in my spiritual journey come across yoga teachers and other spiritual teachers who had already this broader perception of
Mm.
what it means to meditate, and where I understood that it's not about like this condition of, oh, I have to still myself, my inner world, my thoughts, my anything, and I don't have to sit still. I can do a movement
Mm.
meditation, which, for example, for me, I usually have lots of energy. So for me,
Yeah.
it's easier to become focused and present in the moment when I'm doing something like a routine yoga sequence, for example. So
Yeah.
I think the importance is that like it needs to be something, some rhythmic pattern
Yes.
where your brain is not occupied with, oh, what's the next move that I have to make, something that you've either done so many times that you instinctually know what comes next, or something that is so simple that your brain doesn't have to worry about that. And that's when you then can let go of the energy that's circulating in your body, and your
Yeah.
mind can focus on the, okay, what's the actual experience inside and around my body during this practice, for example.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really all about becoming present with yourself,
Mm. Yeah.
tapping, like really deeply connecting with yourself. And that's why I say for some people that may be running, when they go for a good run,
Yes.
afterwards they feel like the cobwebs have been cleared from their brain. And for others, it is indeed sitting still and staring
Yeah.
at a wall. Like it's not like we are not against it. I hope I'm speaking
No.
for you. Like,
Yes, completely. Yeah.
if that's
Yeah.
your thing and that's how you can really recharge your batteries,
Mm.
perfect, do it.
Yeah,
It's just that like I
completely.
have understood like there are so many dancing can be an amazing
Yes.
sort of meditation where you allow your body to just free flow and you
Yeah.
concentrate on the internal sense. So I like this idea that you brought forward with the focusing on the present moment and not in a focused, because focus can also again have that like raspy kind of, oh, I have
Yes.
to concentrate and focus.
Yeah.
That's not, it's this open, huh, okay, oh, and I realize my thoughts are elsewhere again. So what are my physical sensations, for example?
Yeah.
Where is my left pinky toe? Or where
Yeah.
is my right knee at the moment? And bringing you back into the here and now. And that, to me, I found is especially easy when I concentrate and connect with body parts.
Yeah.
Might
And
be
I think,
different for others.
yeah, and I think like with the focus piece, for me, when I was, unwell and trying to use meditation as a way to get better, um, a lot of the time when I was in guided meditation sessions, whether that was like in a group
Mm.
setting or just listening to a recording, I'd get frustrated with myself because I couldn't do what the guided meditation was expecting of me.
Mm.
And then I would start to lose that focus and be like, oh, I'm no good at this. I can't do this. This is
Mm-hmm.
something that's completely out of my reach. Why am I here? I'm a fraud. And then I can remember being in a group session and the lady who was leading it just quite simply said, if you can't visualize this, just pretend.
Mm.
And that permission to pretend changed everything for me because it was almost like it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have to have these amazing visions and be taken to these wonderful places. I can just pretend and relax into the focus of just thinking, okay, what can I pretend in this moment? And
Mm.
almost that invitation of playfulness was really relaxing to me. And it just changed everything that, because I was very disconnected from my body. I've spoken about this before,
Mm.
like I was so disconnected. And it's something that I use with my clients now when I know that they're struggling to create that connection. I'm like, okay, let's just pretend.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the change in them when they're like, okay, I don't have to get this perfect. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is a journey that I'm on, and I'm exploring different ways of doing things. So for me, I think, like you said, using the word focus can be quite restrictive because, when we're focusing on one thing. But for me, the focus has a freedom to it because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to be the guided meditation that you're, if you've tried a guided meditation and that's not working for you, if you can't do it that way, then go out and exactly like you said, I soon learned that my body loves movement. I move all the time. Like I'm on a rocking chair now, so I can keep moving. Like I honor it now. So again, when I'm in guided meditations and group sessions, and they're like, "Oh, be still," and this, I will say to people at the beginning, "I like to move."
Mm-hmm.
So if you're near me, I may start rocking. I may start like waving around a bit with my body. But that's what my body likes. That's how I get into myself and into that place of meditation. So giving myself permission to do it differently
Mm.
really opened up the door to the world of meditation and all the benefits that it has and all the different ways that you can do it. Like you said, dancing around the kitchen, just like feeling nobody's watching you, you're just feeling into
Mm.
your body and like listening to the music and just seeing what your body wants to do. That is so much fun. And you can do that at many points of your day. Like sometimes when I'm in the shower, like
Mm.
it's one of the most, I practice gratitude as meditation as well. Like I will go through and just think of everything that I'm grateful for. And something that always is top of my list is having sanitation and water and hygiene and being able, because there's no better feeling than when you're really feeling grubby to get in a shower and just feel
Mm.
amazingly clean afterwards. So just the whole process of being in the shower and, massaging my scalp and like cleaning my body and just being in that moment and listening to the rain, the shower fall on me, and it just, that is a meditation for me because
Mm.
I'm just in that moment. It's for me and it's focused on my body and what I'm grateful for. So you can take little parts of your day and turn them into really beautiful meditative practices that can really enhance your environment and the way that you think and feel in your body and in the space that you live.
Mm. Yeah, and when I think of especially standing under the shower or taking a bath, I mean, water as an
Mm,
element is cleansing. It has this energetic quality. That's why, like, one sort of meditation is where you imagine yourself to stand under a waterfall and
yes.
allowing the water to caress your body and to
Yeah.
cleanse you from everything you don't want to hold on to any longer, right? So
Yeah.
even that way, it can be used in a meditative space. And what I like to say in the beginning, because like I don't call what I do meditation when I lead a circle, for example, I will not say meditation
Mm,
because of the bad reputation that it
yes.
already has. I don't want to set off people's nervous systems. So I call it presencing. We are
Mhm.
presencing in the here and now so that
I
we're
like that.
open again to take in the information, whatever. And in the beginning, I will say, hey, throughout this, it is possible that you see something, but it is equally possible that you are not a visual person. And then you
Yeah.
might hear something, or you might simply know something or sense something, because every person has a different way of perceiving the world. And that's why you might not see something where others have these grand images. And that's okay, because you may have words that are spoken to you, like
Yeah.
hearing them, or just some shapes or colors, which can be equally meaningful to you
Mm,
because they come out of you.
yeah. Completely. I love that.
And I think with this, like this coming into the present moment, like the other thing is that I will sometimes place where questions, like where is it? Like, for example, when we're thinking of body parts. But when I say where, it's unimportant whether that's inside of your body or outside of
Mm,
your body. It's wherever you can connect with that thing. So similar to what you described, like when you are disconnected from your body or don't really know how to connect with it, it's okay when it's something that's not inside of your body,
yeah.
as long as you are present with whatever it is that is arising.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling all relaxed just listening to that. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. It's really soothing the nervous system. What came to mind when I listened to you was also it can be as simple as you giving your belly some slow
Mm,
circular movements, which we have addressed that at other
yeah.
points throughout our episodes. It will help your digestive system, it will help your hormonal balance. But also, when you concentrate on the circles and how your hand goes over your belly in these
Yeah.
circles, that is a kind of meditation practice in and of
It
itself.
it is. Yeah. And I talk about this a lot with my clients and my friends because I'm a big advocate for essential oils because they have so many benefits. But one of the things that I love about them is it invites touch and connection with the
Mhm.
body. Or if I've got a diffuser going now because I've got my cold, but like just breathing in and having that awareness in my breath that there's a scent, a different sensation coming through my nostrils and into my body, and then applying them topically, just having that connection and being present with the body. And especially if there's a reason why you're applying the oil, like I've been putting a lot on my throat and my chest and my back to help clear the cold, and just having that connection and communicating with the body that, hey, it's okay, I know you're a little bit tender at the moment, but we're going to get through it, and just bring up whatever you need to bring up. It's okay, it can all come through, that's fine. Instead of, you know, fearing the process or being angry with the body for being ill. You know, like this is the first time, like I've had this cold, and this is the first time that it hasn't kept me awake at night with a cough, because I have had the narrative, but like I've literally had the conversations with my body of, it's okay, you don't need to keep me awake. We need sleep to get better. You know, that's fine. I'm going to rest, but I need my sleep. And applying the oils, like having the conversation, having that connection, and then going into bed and sleeping, because the expectation is there that I'm going to sleep. Whereas before, I was very much aware that the expectation was, oh, I've got a cold, so I'm not going to sleep for a week now. I'm just going to be up coughing, and, you know, like that. And it, you know, touch wood, it will stay like this. It may be that I do develop a cough and I am awake, but as it's going at the moment, it's going well, because I've started this conversation and connection with my body, which is a form of meditation, being present with that part of my body that needs me. And it just feels so good. Like even when you're full of cold, it can feel really good. And the thing is that there are so many ways that you can find to meditate and connect with yourself. It might not be what it is for me. You know, it might be completely different. You might need to be, like you say, you might need to be still and just focusing. I really struggle with that. Not all the time, but one thing that I really enjoy doing is just staring out the window and gazing at the clouds, or watching the birds hop along the hedge. Like just you know, a big part of it for a lot of people is putting your phone down, like getting away from the laptop, getting away from the phone, all of the noise, the TV, whatever, and just being present with what is. And like one of my favorite practices is to just make myself a cup of tea in the afternoon and sit and look out the window, or stroke my dog, like just being present with a pet, like connecting with them and just stroking them and feeling that bond of being loved and cared for, and having those feelings, like that energy that you get from being near somebody you love or something you love. That's a form of meditation as well, because you are present and focusing on how that feels for you. Yeah.
And what it boils down to in the end is simply soothing the nervous system. And there is so much science also around meditation and like sitting, even just the sitting meditation, whether that's sitting in front of a wall or in a room, or like you watching nature, which has a whole other dimension and a whole other benefit of connecting with the natural world, because then there is a co-regulation that's happening. Nature has this effect on us, our nervous systems, to soothe us, to calm us down, which will then have a whole other set of benefits for the body and for our health, vitality, and healing. And stay tuned. We are going to record an episode on that. It will come out in 2 weeks, all on the topic of rest and the nervous system and why it's so super important and foundational for healing. But the core of these sitting meditations is essentially, I believe, also soothing the nervous system, because you're taught to watch your thoughts. And watch them as if they are like clouds, like you are watching the clouds, but pretending
Yeah.
your thoughts are clouds that come in and that can move past without you having to hop onto them and cling to them and grab them and do anything with it. You can just take this internal step back and witness, oh, this is happening. These are the thoughts and sentences running through my head all day. And I believe that's like wherever you can get this internal step back and however you can get there, that's what it's about, because it allows you to be more compassionate with yourself. It allows you to be the witness and not get yourself entangled in all the stuff that is activating your nervous system potentially.
Yeah.
But instead, like resting into yourself, understanding that you are part of something much bigger. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are not responsible for everything. And that is okay. And you are a whole and complete human being. With everything that you might perceive as weakness or as flaws, you are a whole and complete and wonderful, unique human being. And it has a whole spiritual dimension for sure.
Yeah.
But again, whether that's through a walk in nature, walking the dog, or just sitting beside a river, and even when you don't believe in spirituality, the divine, anything, we can still feel it. Find your way of connecting with something that gives you this ease of, oh yeah, I'm being held. I don't feel so alone. And like I don't have to control everything. That's our mind's job. It's not a problem that our brains do that. That's what they are supposed to do to keep us from danger. Yet when we take this internal step back, our nervous system relaxes and we can be more open also to new ideas, to a new way forward, understanding a new way forward, just because we could broaden our horizon a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wanted to say to that?
No, I think like what comes up for me as you're speaking is just like that invitation for more space in your life, because I feel that for a lot of us that aren't practicing this connection enough, and for a lot of it, I think that's everybody, because life is so crazy. And we live in a society, in a lifestyle where we are constantly looking outside of ourselves for validation and feeling that we're not good enough, comparing ourselves to other people. Like I talk about this all the time, like there is so much content that we can consume in small amounts of times. And it's really overwhelming for ourselves and for our nervous system. And it can make us feel like exactly what you were saying, like we're not enough. Like what's happening? Like, oh, like you get trapped in the smaller picture. When you allow yourself the time and the space to do this, for me, it definitely feels like just welcoming space and the possibility of more. Like whether you're spiritual or not, just feeling that receptiveness of giving yourself this practice and allowing yourself to get lost in something that feels good and doesn't necessarily, have a clear, obvious outcome for it, because we can all think of other things that we can do with our day that is better than taking, 5-10 minutes out to just connect. But once you start to do it, you will realize the space that you are opening up for yourself and the connection with yourself that is so needed and so powerful. It's like the best gift you can give yourself, just to connect with you because as you said, like, you're amazing. You are literally everything that you need to be in this moment. And when you give yourself permission to connect in, you give yourself permission to see that and feel that and believe that for yourself. Yeah.
And as you very aptly shared, it's a practice.
Mhm.
Practice is not to be perfect.
Yeah.
That's what practice is about. It's a practice. Try today. Oh, not happening. Not a problem. It's just a practice. It's a muscle that you train regularly. And it's not like when you think of strength training, whatever, muscle building, once you've built that muscle and it's strong, if you stop practicing, they will just deteriorate again.
Yeah.
So it's something, so better to find something that works for you in small doses than doing like this massive spiritual workout, meditative workout, and then having an overdose and a muscle soreness for 2 weeks and not taking it up again because you want to avoid that experience in the future. So really finding your little doses in between, as Amy says, throughout the day.
And you can start by just taking deep breaths, like just being consciously aware. If you're completely lost about where to start and you know how to fit it into your day, just find those moments where you can just take deep breaths that you can connect with, and you're doing
Even if
it.
it's just one.
Yeah. Even if it's, you know, while you sat at traffic lights or sat on the toilet or wherever it is that you are, like in your day, just think, I'm giving myself this breath now. Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to say about the practice, and that's for me, that comes from yoga. I believe many people mistake yoga, like when you go to a class and do these yoga poses, for the actual yoga. And that's how and when you do yoga, quote unquote. Because the thing with yoga is on the mat is where you practice. It's the practice ground for real life. When it's not that easy. That's why you go to the practice, to have the space where all the distractions are kind of taken away from you so that you can concentrate, fully knowing that this ideal condition is not what everyday life looks like. And that's okay. But having these moments of practice so that you can create and widen the space throughout the rest of your life. I think that's the goal, if you want to call it a goal. But that's like the main intention of this, is to practice in these moments where you create the conditions where it's easier to actually do the thing. To have more resources, feel more filled up in your actual life. Shall we leave it at that? I do hope sincerely that this has sparked some interesting ideas and new perspectives, and already some ideas how to incorporate and implement that in your life.
And I'd love to know what practice you do. Like, what is it that works for you? And I would be really interested to know that, because I know that everybody is so different. And I would really invite you to comment and just say what it is that works for you at this moment, because I know that that will be really helpful for other people who are listening as well, to share ideas as to what's working for everybody. Yeah.
I love this, and I love that you pointed out that's what you do right now because it works for you right now and over your lifetime. This can change too. So important to note that. So leave us a comment if you are in a place where you can do that, or even leave us a review. Tell us how you enjoy our episodes, what you might be interested in hearing us talk about. If anything, it could be a spin-off from something we've touched on today. Then let us know what you're interested in hearing more about.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast.
Yes. Thank you for spending this time with us.
Mm.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.